Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of these end times. This will be part 6 in my series on the amazing end times prophecies in Micah chapter number 5. And so far we've seen that he gives prophecies about Donald Trump as the leader of America and of the remnant Catholic Church in these end times. And also it is a warning to the end times nation of Israel. And both of these basic events will occur on September 23rd, 2017, when the great sign prophesied in Revelation number 12 appears in the constellations. And this is my artist's rendering of the great sign. It does not show the Blessed Virgin Mary as Virgo, and you can see that interpretation on the program Stellarium. My interpretation here is of a woman about to give birth. And that is what fulfills Revelation 12 also, a woman in labor. And I believe this does refer to the nation of Israel. So let's start with looking at Micah's prophecy chart. We'll review that for a minute. And I have rearranged the verses so that they give an end times prophecy, not only in the verse arrangement, but also as far as the verses following one after another. And we've discovered that the verses to the left, that is 1, 5, 3, 2, 4, and 6, refer to Donald Trump. And the verses on the right, that is 7 through 12, are prophecies about the nation of Israel. So let's start out by looking at verse number 8 on this program, and I hope to complete Micah's chapter number 5 on this program. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many peoples. And of course we see that even today. The Jews are scattered throughout the world. As a lion among the beasts of the forest, and as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who when he shall go through and tread down and take, there is none to deliver. And this goes with Micah's previous prophecy that the remnant Jews are like a dewfall from heaven. That is a blessing upon the peoples of the earth. And that term, remnant of Jacob, as I have said many, many times, not only in Micah 5, but also Isaiah 45, is Micah and Isaiah's code word for the end times remnant Jews. And I think Micah is right when he says that they are like a lion among the flocks of sheep. Well, I think Micah is telling us that yes, indeed, the remnant Jews of Jacob are a very powerful force in today's society, especially in Trump's administration. And that contrasts with the next verse, verse number 11. And I will destroy the cities of your land. Now, God has just been praising the remnant of Jacob, how powerful they are, and they are a dew from heaven. And now he says he's going to destroy their cities. Well, he is not talking about the cities of the remnant of Jacob because they are in the midst of many peoples. He is talking specifically about the cities in the nation of Israel. That is what he means when he says your land. And will throw down all your strongholds, and I will take away sorceries out of your hand, and there shall be no divinations in you. So God is going to execute this punishment on Israel. Now he can work through other nations, as he did with Nebuchadnezzar in the Old Testament. Verse number 14. And I will execute vengeance in wrath and in indignation among all the nations that have not given ear. So not only will the nation of Israel be punished by Almighty God in these end times, and by the way, this tells us what is wrong with the nation of Israel. They have not given ear to the Old Testament, as the prophet Nathan said. They have not followed Torah, and Daniel says the same thing. Now we move down to line 3 on Micah's chart, verse number 9. Your hand, still talking about the remnant of Jacob, shall be lifted up over your enemies, and all your enemies shall be cut off. So the remnant of Jacob has a tremendous victory in these end times. However, God says in the next verse, he continues this contrast between the remnant Jews and the nation of Israel. And I will destroy your graven things and your statues out of the midst of you, and you shall no more adore the works of your hands. And of course, we know that in the book of Revelation, John describes Jerusalem as a Sodom and an Egypt. And we see that all the time. So although the remnant of Jacob will be saved, and they will be a powerful force in these end times, the nation of Israel will be destroyed. And now I want to let you know that if you go to my website, you can find the verses on Micah's chart in correct order. And first you have the chart, and then you have a good picture of Donald Trump. My web manager in Australia chose a very good image. And then there are 3 or 4 pages with the verses in their correct order. And you can find under the same tab, under the Old Testament prophets, you can find Isaiah chapter number 45. And you have to do the same thing. You have to rearrange the verses. And another nice picture of Donald Trump. Thank you, Maryland and Australia. And then again, 4 or 5 pages of the verses in their correct order. And you can download that for free. Keep it for your files. It's very important. And it's educational and interesting of what Isaiah and Micah are prophesying about. Not only about Donald Trump, amazing prophecies about he will be converted to Catholicism, and also how Israel will be destroyed, although a remnant of Jacob will be saved. And as I have been saying all along on this series of programs, this is scheduled to occur on September 23rd, 2017. Of course, Jesus said he would shorten the days. And by the way, this cannot possibly refer to the rapture. Don't listen to the false prophets. How many times did Jesus say you cannot know the day or the hour? I mean, if you're going to claim that September 23rd, 2017 is the date for the rapture, you're ruling out March, April, May, June, July, and August as possible dates for the rapture. And that is totally untheologically. It's unscriptural. It's false by any stretch of the imagination. So that is my final word today. And as always, if you would like to know more information about my ministry here on YouTube, visit my ThirdEagleMedia.com website.